this year has fired missiles from Al Tanf itself. So therefore, the US is complicit with the Israeli aggression and the Israeli war crimes against the Syrian people.
So Vanessa, in your opinion, what can be done to stop such attacks?
Well, I mean, I think another reason that you're seeing an escalation in these attacks is the very recent unification of all the Palestinian resistance groups, including the visit of Hamas to Damascus itself and a discussion with President Assad. In Algiers, you had the unification meeting, which brought together all of the Palestinian resistance factions. And so now you have, as I mentioned, a unified front against Israel. And I think what is important is that after the first two strikes against Syria by Israel, we saw an escalation in the resistance activity in Nablus and Jenin and the occupied territories. So I think what you're going to see now is not necessarily retaliation from Syria, but you will lawless behavior by members of the resistance axis.
Vanessa Beeley, many thanks for speaking to us today. We're speaking to Vanessa Beeley, an independent journalist based in Damascus. Burkina Faso's new government is to focus on securing the West African country, which has been ravaged by jihadist violence. Earlier this month, President Ibrahim Traoré seized power from Lieutenant Colonel Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba, who later fled to Togo. Now, the country's new prime minister has said the nation remains on a war footing and called on locals to contribute to stabilization. We spoke to locals on the streets of Burkina Faso's capital to gauge their opinion.
The need for unity. He's going to fight until his last breath. We need to widen our cooperation to look for other partners. We love the path our Prime Minister has chosen. We will end this miserable situation. The decision to look for other partners is one of survival because for a long time France was our only partner. Many of our folks passed away, but France didn't help. I believe that this Prime Minister will combat terrorism. There is no freedom if we have
Security, first priority of the government. The Prime Minister Apolline Kailem was enough clear because the security situation was bad. Damiba organized at the beginning of the year his military coup. And because Traoré believes Damiba was failing, around 50,000 volunteers will be recruited to serve in the army as auxiliaries. Reserve Liulo, Arti, Ouagadougou.
Here on RT International, we're back in 30 minutes with more. See you then.